Welcome to the Real Estate Advantage. My name is Adam Gullett. This channel is focused on helping you, the real estate agent, develop business practices to help you succeed and grow your business to a long-term success. So we're not just throwing random things out here. We try to be very intentional with what we are bringing to you. And you can go back and watch any of our videos and learn anything you would like to learn about business in the real estate industry. And today we're going to be talking about how to set up and optimize your CRM for real estate success. So it's going to be a great little deep dive in regards to how we go through our CRMs, how we set those things up. I'm going to give you some tips and some practical advice on how to actually utilize your CRM effectively to help you stay on point. And we're going to kind of get into it a little bit. We're going to talk about CRMs in general. We're going to go into the meat of what CRMs are and how to utilize them, and really some of the features you need to be looking for when it comes to a CRM, because there's a lot of options out there. And what we want to do is make sure we don't just throw our money out and not get the product we actually need to address the issues that we have in our business. So today's episode is going to be about that. It's going to be about the CRM, the customer relation management software. And so we're honing in just a little bit more here on some of the tech. We've done a kind of a broad view in the past few videos talking about just the business in general, making contacts, connecting with people. Now we got to get in the weeds just a little bit here and start talking about some tools that's in your arsenal as an agent and how to best utilize those. So today is going to be the first step in that process. So let's join with me as we start this actual video now, how to set up and optimize your CRM for real estate success. All right, so we all know that to build a long-term real estate business, it's all about the relationships that you have. It's all about the people you connect with. It's about follow-up. It's about staying in front of them even after the sale. And it's also about constantly asking for business and delivering something of value back. Okay, so anytime I reach out to somebody, you want to have something that you give back to them, right? It's not just me doing a sales script all the time saying, use me as your agent, but you want to figure out a way to give something back, right? So there's all these little pieces when it comes to communicating with your clients that we've kind of got to get together. We can't just put them in our phones and then forget about them. We can't just do Post-it notes. And if we do, that's fine for a while. But at some point, you end up getting so many contacts and so many people that people begin to fall through the cracks, and you end up not having a system together to do a correct follow-up, and you're missing a lot of business. There's a lot of referral business out there, and we all know that we bought something from a bad salesperson, and it's only because that they were there or that in the moment we were ready to buy, they were present, that we ended up doing so. So even though we want to believe that all these people just love us as people and love us as agents, a lot of people are just knee-jerk reaction, right? They want to buy a house, they want to go start looking, and they immediately just start calling signs. You do not want to be that secret agent. You don't want to be the agent that they can't remember your name, they don't know who you are, they can't remember your company you're with. You've got to figure out systems to stay in front of them. But then you also got to have a system that helps you to communicate with them consistently and to give them valuable information, and then to keep track of appointments and reminders. And that way you're constantly delivering a consistent amount of service to them, so they want to use you again and they want to refer their friends to you because they know the service they're going to get. Well, when you take all of the things that we do as real estate agents and you put them into one little bucket, there's a lot of things to kind of juggle. And that bucket can be very, very heavy. Well, a CRM becomes that central point where almost everything you do in your business can be navigated through. So that's why we're focusing on the CRM, the customer relation management software. It's going to help you guys. If you guys can get it ironed out and get it working correctly, it can be one of the best tools in your arsenal to help you stay on point and deliver that extraordinary experience that, to be honest, your buyers and sellers and sphere of influence are kind of demanding for these days. So let's get into this. And I'm not going to have, at the very beginning here, I'm not going to start off with any of the tips. I'm just going to talk about just picking a CRM in general, okay? And some of the things you kind of want to make sure that are non-negotiables. These are things that need to be in your CRM that you need to be doing. And if you're looking to shop for a CRM and you're looking to purchase one, here are some things you just need to make sure that they do have built in. There's tons of CRMs out there, a lot to pick from. Where we work with Central 21, we do have one ourselves that built in the agents get to use. And it does have all of these things. And here's the thing too, there are a lot of CRMs out there that have tons and tons of bells and whistles. There's a lot of them out there that have all kinds of add-ons and everything. My advice at the very beginning of this thing is keep it very simple at the beginning. Even if you have a CRM that has all the bells and whistles, Let's bring it down to as simple as we possibly can if you've never set up a CRM. Let's don't go crazy on all the bells and whistles, because we can get overwhelmed and juggling all the bells and whistles that we're not being effective in managing our clients. So let's get really good at the simplicity of the CRMs that we have and how they work in regards to these non-negotiable items. And then gradually start adding some more things in there. So that's just some quick advice there. But let's get into this. We all know that not all the CRMs are created equal, right? There's a lot of CRMs out there that are for industries in general. They're not specific to a real estate agent. So obviously I would start with looking for a CRM, one that is tailored for you as an agent. Make sure it has some of the fields you need, some of the integrations you need, and and also good customer support. Those are all things you're kind of want to look for. But here are some of the non-negotiables. One is the most simple, obvious one. You would say, obviously this is a no-brainer, but it's the client tracking, right? It's the first and most important of any CRM is the client tracking. Your CRM should allow you to input information about your clients, including their contact information, obviously, transaction history, and any important notes. Almost every single CRM will do this. Some of them kind of get a little bit so niche that they miss a lot of the points where you can actually customize some of the fields and add notes and set reminders and use them for appointments. But client tracking is key. That way you can make sure it has all the information on the card of that particular person you're wanting is all front and center, and you can record everything about that client inside of that one person's profile. So that's key. That is absolutely key. Lead management. A good CRM will also help you manage your leads. So you should be able to input information about each lead, including where they came from, what stage of the sales process they're in. This way you can prioritize your time and follow up with the hottest leads first. So a CRM that it gives you the ability to even just inside of it, mark something as cold, warm, dead, sphere of influence, some of those defaulted categories you can put people in. You want to be able to have something too that kind of helps you along the journey with the client. A lot of CRMs, you just kind of put the contact information in there and it's left there. But a real estate one that is really effective is going to kind of give you suggestions and help you walk you through the process of a client. So if you have a buyer, it's going to offer you suggestions on how to engage with the buyer, how to help the buyer, and then it help you process, from evaluation to meeting to under contract to pending to closed, all those steps. And it has some things built into the system to help you navigate those things. Because as you get busier and busier and all these things, you got to start juggling more and more. A CRM that helps you address a lot of these little pieces becomes even more crucial. But again, we're keeping it simple at first, but if you're needing to buy a CRM, I would encourage you to make sure that it has some of these real estate specific things inside of it. Another one that you'd want to make sure that it has is appointment scheduling. I mean, it's kind of funny that a lot of these CRMs do not have an ability to actually set appointments through them or tie into like Google Calendars or Outlook, those type of things. They're a one-stop shop where you put the data in and then that's it. You want to make sure that the one you use has a way to communicate with other calendars, or even inside of itself has a way for you to set appointments. I'm not a fan of having all these different websites and devices I've got to go to manage my business. So if you can minimize as much of those as you possibly can, the better the CRM would be. I only have to open up the CRM to be able to engage with it. And then a bonus one would be transaction management. Does it have the ability to use your paperless software like DocuSign or Dotloop? Can it communicate with each other? Or is that coming? Is it the ability? Is it a CRM that you're buying into, cutting edge and are constantly adding more of these features in or looking to do that? That's a company to associate with because they're constantly innovating and getting better and better as they go. Is that the CRM that you have? But transaction management is the future. Paperless management is really the future in the way we interact with our clients. We've all been doing it for many years, but marrying the CRM with the paperless transaction becomes even more crucial going forward because we're doing everything inside of our CRM. So you definitely want to make sure that it has a way to manage your transactions. At the very minimum, you should be able to, work a client going back to the whole about lead management and client tracking. You want to have at least a CRM that shows you how to kind of go through the process. So. All right. The next one, and this is where I'm going to get into kind of the tips here. So the tip number one is this: start with a clean slate. Start with a clean slate. Once you've chosen your CRM, it's time to start setting it up. All right, so begin by inputting all of your current contacts, clients in the system. So if you have a lot of them, obviously this might take you a little bit of time. It's always great to find a CRM that has an import option. Typically, those things do require you to use an Excel sheet and put contacts in a system in a systematic way that the CRM will recognize. So it can be a little bit of a tedious process of putting your contacts into a CRM. But I will say this, taking the time to do so is going to set you up for the future of development of your sphere of influence. So it's worth the time to go in there and get this right and get it set up correctly. Because once you have all of your current clients entered in the system, you can begin adding all the new ones and leads as they come in, and you're building a very strong database. And that's your book of business. It's your central point of your book of business. So take the time and start with a clean slate. If you've got a CRM and you find that it's just got too much information in it, well, then maybe you need to clean it out and start all over. Don't delete contacts, but export the contacts and begin to add them back into categories and groups and all those type of things so you have a more organized CRM. Take the time to organize this CRM. So start with a clean slate. Go in there and just kind of begin to clean house a little bit. And that leads me to the next tip, and it's stay organized. When you're inputting into your CRM, pay very close attention to all the details. Okay, this might seem like a no-brainer, to be honest, but it's important to make sure that all of the information in your CRM is accurate. This includes things like names, make sure they're spelled correctly, contact information, addresses, property details, birthdays, all the above, anniversaries, whatever it may be, either their wedding anniversary or their house anniversary. Try to get as much information as you can and put that into the CRM. And that because if you get it accurate, then when you get into the later tips, we're talking about drip campaigns and grouping and how I reach out to certain people, then it's going to be a lot easier to use this effectively. So staying organized is key. So stay in there and make sure things are correct. Do a little bit of an audit on your names and stuff and make sure that things are correct. And remember, the CRM is only as good as the information that you put into it. Simply put, it's only as good as the information that it has. So take time. Take time. And I will say this too, take time every day to go back through all the contacts you maybe made the prior day. If you got business cards from somebody or you met somebody at a coffee shop and you were talking to them and they gave you a name, whatever the case may be, get in the habit to do a little bit of a time block to put people into your system. Just get in the habit of doing that. And going back to, I'll go back up about shopping for a CRM. Make sure they have an app or at least a website or something that's mobile friendly that you can quickly save on your phone and open up and then go in there and put in that contact into your database. That way, when you're right there with them, you can capture that information. And on that, I'm going to pause just a second on the CRM conversation. So because we're talking about putting contacts in and business cards, and this seemed like a very relevant thing to kind of bring up something. So I have been testing out a new product. It's called Popl, P-O-P-L. There's a link in the description about all of this. And we've moved into the 21st century. And since we're talking about contact management and how to get contacts in there, all this kind of stuff, I wanted to bring up this product that I've been messing around with. And it's called Popl, P-O-P-L. And what it is it is a digital business card. You guys have probably heard of those. If not, this one is pretty neat. And there's a few different things you can do with this. And what I'm going to show you is the card. So this right here is the Popl card that you get. This is the basic one. So let's see. There's Popl. All right. So it's just a basic little card. It's pretty thick plastic. It goes in your wallet. There's also a QR code on the back for those that do not have what's built into this card. So what is built into this card is an NFC reader. All right, so NFC is the same thing that you would do inside of your phone when you go up to a pay station to pay something with your credit card. You've probably seen your credit cards have had that little like Wi-Fi signal on it. You can hold your card up to that. Well, that's using NFC technology. And what NFC technology allows it to do is to communicate with the device and send that information from the device to your device or vice versa. Okay, so it's a communication device. So built inside of this little teeny card is one of those devices. All right, so what happens is if you're out networking with somebody or connecting with them and you say, well, they ask you, do you have a business card? Well, you might not have a paper card with you. I mean, if you've been to a convention, you know how this goes. You fumble around, you try to find the business card, or you run out. Well, this allows you to avoid that. All right. And what ends up happening is you can pull this little card out and they can tap it with their phone and it will bring up a nice little website on their phone that looks like this. So when they tap this card with their phone, this pops up on their screen on their phone, and they have a few options, and you can customize everything that's on this screen, but they can simply just tap this save contact and it goes right into their phone. Along with the save contact is your name, what you do, who you work for, but then you see all those other links in there, and you can add as many links to this as you want, but it allows them to be able to save your contact information directly to their phone. And now here's the cool thing is after they hit the save card or it's been up on their phone for a little bit, a little pop-up window will pop up and it'll ask them to enter in their information. And once they enter their information, that is sent to your contact list. So you guys are exchanging information and not having to share business cards. So it's a pretty cool little device, right? And now it gets even a little bit easier to use. So this is the simple card. They also have this fancy little thing. They sent this and there's this. And then if you open it up, look at that, customized cards. So if I take this out, you can see what this looks like. There's my name, company, and again, the QR code. Pretty neat, does the exact same thing, but just elevates the professionalism just a little bit if I pulled this out of my wallet and then said, here's my business card, but you can scan this and you'll have all of my information. But then they also do on the back of the phone, they have a little thing that you can put on the back of your phone. Does the exact same thing. And then they also have a little bracelet. So here's the bracelet. So if you're at a convention, the same thing would happen is if you're wanting to share contact information, you would hold your phone up, boom, and it sends that information directly to their phone. So when we start talking about capturing contacts and using a CRM and how do I get the information to my database, this is a great tool to do that. It's also a really cool tool if you're networking, you're out with somebody or you're going to a convention or whatever the case may be, out to a coffee shop, and someone asks, hey, how's the market? And you get into a whole conversation. Well, these little devices allow you to be able to share information. You can save your website on there and everything. So it's a pretty neat little thing. And it's also very inexpensive. Like you can get a pack of these cards. You can get one of these cards right here. This little black card right here for $5. That's it, $5. And you'll have a digital business card that you can stick in your wallet. Cool thing is too, you can actually stick this in your wallet or purse and just hold someone's phone up to it and it'll scan that card for you. They have stickers and everything else. It's a cool little device to spread your information. So I thought that would be kind of relevant to talk about when we're talking about contact management and sharing information, that it would be a good way for you guys to be able to do that. I just got it. I'm messing around with it so far. Very, very pleased with it. It works really, really well and very, very simple to use. So, and like I said, there is a link in the description. There's also a coupon code in there to save you guys 20%. So feel free to use that. All right. So now let's get back to the CRM here. So we got the next thing I'm going to say is this: automate what you can. But going back to all the tasks that we juggle and try to go through, and we can drop the ball in so many different areas. Well, a CRM actually will help you automate some of these things. And if you get your CRM set up correctly, it's going to be really quick and easy to add people into automations. So that's one of the biggest benefits, is helping you address some of those repetitive tasks that you do every single day in the real estate business. The CRM can help kind of automate some of those things. So, like drip campaigns, they really address different situations. Like the buying process, the selling process, under contract, pending. You can set up a drip campaign to educate your buyers and sellers on the whole process of what's coming next, how to navigate these waters. You can give them articles. You can set up newsletters that address a lot of the common questions. You could have them set up on a new client drip campaign where it talks about what to expect from you, what kind of marketing services you do, those type of things. So it can automate a lot of those type of things. You can automate thank you notes, appointment reminders. All of those things can be built inside of the CRM. So if you have a standard that you're operating your business from, and you said, these are the things that I'm going to do, you can figure out a way to create a drip campaign that addresses some of those things that you say you're going to do, or the promises that you're going to make. So get creative. And I will say this: most CRMs have drip campaigns built into them and allow you to customize them. So get in there and kind of mess around with your CRM and see if there's a way for you to take what's already there, improve upon it, or make it kind of your own. But most of them allow you to do that. And there's also tons of drip campaigns out there that you can get for free by just doing a quick Google search. Just type in real estate drip campaigns, and you'll find that there's a lot of people that have posted a lot of ideas, and you can tweak them and make them your own. So the chances are there's a drip campaign that's already been created that fits kind of what you're looking to automate. So get out there, be creative, figure out the tasks that you do constantly, and try to figure out if there's a way to kind of automate that using your CRM. It's one of the best things I think that the CRM can do. All right, this next one is a big one, because this is where the power of the CRM kind of comes in to help you kind of navigate the water of your whole pool of clients. And it's simply using tags or labels or groups or whatever your CRM calls it. Typically, I think they're going to more the tag and label category, but some of them still call them groups. But basically, just to summarize that real quickly, that's categorizing those people. So like the relationships that you have with them. So if it's a close friend, maybe you'll have a tag or a label or group that says close friends, like sphere of influence or online lead or past client or seller, buyer, investor, builder. You know, maybe you have a whole nother group that talks about your newsletter group, right? So, and the key here too is adding people to multiple groups is probably a good idea. Like your buyers and sellers should all be probably part of your newsletter group. So when you're going to assign the newsletter drip campaign, you then select, you know, the newsletter group, and then everybody that you add into that group is now going to be sent that newsletter. Same thing with like the seller group. Well, every time you get a listing, you want to start that seller on the drip campaign that you have set up for your sellers, talking about marketing and home staging ideas or common questions that buyers might be asking, or whatever the case may be. Maybe you have a drip campaign for that. Well, if you have a group set up for sellers and then you have a drip campaign, well, if you get in the habit of entering in your sellers into your CRM, then adding them to the drip campaign, you're done. You don't have to go through and add them individually. You just select anyone that's added to this group gets this drip campaign. So you don't have to go back and start trying to figure out who you want to put where. So you can automate this very, very easily by setting up groups. So, but I will say this, start very, very simple. You know, create a group for buyer leads, seller leads, past clients, and current clients. If you want to start with those, great. That's the most important categories you can have. And then gradually start adding more. Like maybe add a group that's hobby specific. Maybe you have some materials that you want to send out to somebody that's into baking, right? And you know you've got clients that love to bake. Well, have a baking group. And when you have some kind of article you want to write, or you come across something neat that would be helpful for people that enjoy that kind of hobby, then you have a group that you've assigned to that as you get to know your clients, and you send them those emails and you know who they are. You can get income ranges, military service or veterans, school affiliations, favorite sports teams, organizational memberships. You know, get really creative on your labels, because there's different ways you can communicate to that demographic. And, you know, everybody has some kind of hobby that they relate to. And on top of that, by doing that, you're being a little bit more intentional and trying to get to know your clients. And by doing so, I think you're going to build a better relationship with them that will ultimately lead to referrals. All right, here's another one. Use reporting features. Use the reporting features built into the CRM. And I will say most CRMs do come with this. They come with some way for you to track things like conversion rates, open rates of your emails, click-through rates. Like if somebody opens your email and they click through to maybe a link outside of the email. Most CRMs will have tracking data for you to see these metrics. And they're very, very valuable for you guys to maybe check every so often. If you send out an email on Monday, maybe by Friday, kind of check and see the engagement level. That information can be very valuable to you to see if you're being considered a spammer, or if the open rate's really low, they're not really finding any value in that. So be sure to kind of be a little bit proactive in seeing how what you're sending out is and how they're responding to it, and then begin to make some adjustments as necessary. I think it's just a good thing to do. I encourage looking at reports on just everything about our business. It tells us the facts. It tells us the truth. We're not left to our own assumptions. We're using the data to direct us, not just doing what feels right and doing whatever we think will be good. We're using the data to help us tailor our business. So the reporting features inside of CRMs will help you do that, to help you gauge your success. This one seems, kind of like an easy part, but I will say most people do not take the time to do this. and I highly, highly encourage this, but it's take the training. Just every CRM has probably tons of webinars, classes, and everything that you can take. So they all have some form of it, tutorials, webinars, whatever it may be. So I really do encourage you guys, take some time, take a Saturday morning, block off 2 or 3 hours and go through as much training as you possibly can. Doesn't mean everything you hear that you need to start implementing, but it is good to be aware about what your CRM is capable of. So as you start hitting some of these pain points we're talking about, like automation, all these type of things, you have an idea about what your CRM can do. And that way, as you get busier, you can be like, oh, wait, I remember learning about that. Let me go back and watch that webinar again. I think my CRM can help me with that. So, because I will say most CRMs are powerful things. They can do a lot more than you think they can. So get aware about what your CRM is capable of doing. But I will say, again, keep it simple. Add the things that are necessary now. Begin to build the database. If you feel like you're getting in there and you're getting overwhelmed with stuff, then let some of it go and just focus on the most simple things. Getting contacts in and setting them up on groups, and then begin to figure out drip campaigns and go from there. Okay. So, but truly, truly take those trainings. All right. Now, this is the beauty of CRMs, is nurturing leads, having leads and nurturing them through the CRM. Okay. So that's really, when we start talking about this, the name itself, customer management or customer relational management software, CRMs, right? It's all about the relational aspect of this and managing that. In other words, we're navigating the water to get a cold lead to warm, to hot, to making money, right? That's the whole point of a CRM. The CRM should be able to help you convert leads into sales. So this means, and the beauty of this is where the CRM's at. It's making sure you're sending follow-ups automatically, keeping them updated on new listings, and inviting them to open houses. The goal is to just keep your name on top of mind in front of them. But you have got to nurture. Going back to a CRM that has a built-in system in it that helps you navigate through the process with the lead. I get a call on a property. I immediately put them inside of my contact management software, and I then add them to a drip campaign, and then I begin showing them houses. So if it's a cold lead, then now I'm showing them houses. I want to have ability to mark that cold lead into warm. And then when I do so, the CRM should then start suggesting things to me about what I should be doing with them. Even if I don't do all of them, it should be able to help me navigate the water of taking a cold lead to warm and warm to hot. And a really good CRM is going to have a lot of built into it that you can kind of tweak, but you can also use proven systems that actually help you do this. So you might be at the cold part where you're not really doing much with them, to the showing houses, to now we're under contract, and now we're heading to closing, and now we're closed, and then now they're in my follow-up plan. So a good CRM is going to have some system in place to help you kind of go through that with every single one of the clients. So I will encourage you guys to do that. But that is the power of the CRM, is taking those cold leads, nurturing them into actually making you money. Now, a little bonus thing here too is a lot of CRM platforms come with another suite of tools. So outside of just the CRM, this is the one thing I will say, try to find a CRM that has the contact management software that is integrated with your website, that is then also integrated with any presentations you make, that is now integrated with your paperless software, and try to get something that is, even if they don't have all those things yet, they're at least forward thinking, and that's where they're heading, because that's going to keep you in one central location to run your entire business through. And that would be a very, very strong CRM if you can just log in one place and navigate your entire business. And also all those different portals up there, the websites and things like that, help funnel those leads straight into your CRM. What I've seen a lot of times happen in the real estate industry is we embrace all different types of technology, but they don't communicate. And yep, there might be better service over here for this product, and there might be better service over here for this product, and they might not all communicate. But if I can find one that does bring as much of that together as possible, and I don't have to leave as much, then I'm going to be more focused to be able to convert those leads. And then I can spend more time just building my database. But try to get rid of some confusion, find software that actually brings all of that together. So in conclusion, a CRM is a software it's a powerful, powerful tool that every every single real estate agent should have in their arsenal if used correctly. They should absolutely have this. They should have it set up professionally and ready to cultivate those relationships with leads and clients and close more deals. That's what it's for. It helps them to stay organized. And my goodness, you can run your whole entire business from that. Reminders, follow-ups, appointment scheduling, to-do lists, all those type of things can be done inside of your CRM, as long as you got a good one. But that's kind of the tips I have for you guys. But there's a lot more you can do inside of a CRM, but those are them. So we'll run through this real quick. So we're going to talk about, so picking a CRM, do your research. Start with a clean slate. Don't get in there too much and have inaccurate data. So that leads into the next one, staying organized. Make sure that your contacts are organized in a systematic way that makes sense. Then automate what you can. There's a really, really cool sheet out there. You guys have probably seen it. It's 188 tasks a realtor performs. It's out there. Go check that out, and you will find out that a lot of those things might be able to be automated inside of your CRM. And then use tags, labels, and groups for all of your contacts. Categorize them in a certain way so you know who it is that you're talking to, or those you're wanting to send a pertinent information to a relevant group. Make sure you use those tags, labels, and groups. Categorize by relationships too. Use reporting features. Look at those often. Understand what the metrics mean. If you don't know what some of those are, Google what those are, find out what click-through rates are and all those type of stuff. Begin to understand the data. It'll let you know if you're doing something wrong and also show you what you're doing right. Take all the training that your CRM provides for you. Make sure you're learning everything you can about the CRM and that it's actually going to help your business. And then slowly add the things that you're learning about to build a really strong central point for your business. And then finally, use your CRM to nurture your leads. Use it to nurture your leads. Figure out ways to use the CRM to nurture your leads. Drip campaigns, reminders, follow-ups, those type of things, right? So there you go. I hope you guys have got something of value. I hope you've seen that the CRM can be a great tool in your arsenal for real estate, and get out there and try it. Don't be overwhelmed. It is technology, but unfortunately, technology is here to stay. And I say unfortunately because, man, can it be overwhelming. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. I always enjoy coming here and hanging out with you guys. It's my pleasure to do so. Thank you for taking the time out to watch this show. And if there's any comments in there, let's see. Great shot. Thank you, Steve, sir. Appreciate it. All right, guys. This is the wrap up. I thank you as always. Next week, I will not be here. I will be traveling. So we will not have a live show next Wednesday, but the following Wednesday we will. So I will catch you guys at that time. I hope you've enjoyed this. Again, if you've gotten something of value, hit the subscribe button, hit the little thumbs up thing, and ring the bell if you want to be notified of any future episodes or videos that we post. And just a reminder, go check out the community tab on the YouTube channel page, and you can answer some polls and stuff there, check out some photos, those type of things. It's just cool to have a community here. In the meantime, be fearless, keep pushing forward, never stop being relentless in your pursuit of excellence. My name is Adam Gullett. I will see you next time on the Advantage Live Show. Take care.